Just gonna check something while I have this up in the background. Do I have anything I'm gonna try and find in the spirit one? During cool autumn nights, something can be seen stalking the skies. Ah, that's the other one. There we go. Alright, so what did we do last time? Yeah, right, we did find the blood on the lift behind here. We found blood here because the guy got... No, the guy who died, he didn't get stabbed. Someone else got stabbed. Because we realized that this thing had a left-handed writing, a left-handed grip on it, and one of the candles had like popped off and showed a bloody spike. And that means that someone stood here and basically smacked the shit out of, like stabbed the shit out of the person on the side of the lift here. And also, we managed to learn that because the guy is left-handed, he cannot have written this note. Because this is basically the writing is smudged as though written by a right-handed person, which means this is not his handwriting. So someone else basically ordered the murder of Ellen. So my theory is that he tried to murder her, someone attacked him, which I don't think is his partner, the one who wrote this note, but someone else. And I guess they probably like heard the... I still don't remember the plot about this case, and the culprit most things surrounding it. Fair enough. I'm just explaining because we just entered in here. But yes, that's good. So basically, yeah. Came out, helped her, and I think they heard the wish and tried to help about with that. He came down here, basically like being hit in the back, confronted his partner, stabbed his partner basically slammed the shit out of him, and either he hid himself in one of these, or the partner put him in one of these. Bit uncertain, because I only know that the handle on this thing is blooded, which means it has been closed from the inside and not outside. Hold on, where were we actually going? Oh, Soren, right. Nope. I still can't get over how gorgeous Sprocket Manor is. It looks antique. I did bubble this. Yeah, I did bubble this up. Sorry, I just got a bit confused because I have a drink here. And most of the times when I open it, I'm so used that it basically like fists in my face or on the mic. But apparently there was no bubbles this time. Oh, but I have definitely fizzled it. Or bubbled it or whatever you call it. Just don't touch anything. I wasn't going to. She was definitely going to. Well, she did manage to touch the radio last time. Oh, there you are. Thanks for seeing us, Soren. We know you're busy. I'd like to ask you a few questions about the case, if you wouldn't mind. Soren? Seriously, if you don't stop, I am gonna make you Soren. Soaring through the sky. You're Ellen's lawyer, right? I still can't really make a voice. I mean, Maya do have some pretty sticky fingers. She really does. I don't really know sometimes what to give to this guy for voice, because the only thing I can think of is like some sort of anime series where cool, weird-ass person. And I can't make a voice like that. And when I say cool, I don't mean like cool as in, oh, nice. More or less like emotionless. Don't tell me it doesn't remember me. Will Ellen be found guilty? We're doing everything we can to prevent that. That's why we're here, investigating. Will you please tell us what you know? There was something, though, I think you missed last time, Maestro. I still don't like this guy, but he did kind of, like, make something, like, redeem himself in a way. Not that I said it was anything good, but when he came to visit Ellen, it was mostly because he was looking for something. Which, yeah, he is basically, his brain is everywhere. He doesn't know what he's doing and he probably loses stuff. But I think he goes to her because she knows him best. You know, like, wife, husband, they should probably know each other. I'll just say, he's the worst witness you could ask for, and it's not his fault. Fair enough. And yo, Gani, welcome to the stream. What is that for emote? That is adorable. Yes, that is adorable. But I hope you have a wonderful day as well. And basically, he ended up leaving what's it called? Defendant room. And basically, we had to tell him, but he did go out with saying, come home soon. So, he is, like, I don't like him because of his personality, but in the way of what he does, he cares in his own way, and it's kind of like annoying. It's like, you might be a good person, but good lord, I can't stand you. Alright, fine. What was that pause all about? Want a small hint about why he is this way? I can guess it is because of his sister. Sorry, I do love that I read that as acoustic. You know, like a fucking guitar and shit. It was you who gave the order for the large-scale cover-up plan, isn't that right? What large cover-up scale cover-up? Don't play dumb with us! You held 2 wedding receptions in order to try and cover up Mr. Gloomsbury's murder. Ellen thought that through the power of the timekeeper you built, she traveled back in time. It does have to do with her, but let's just say he writes down everything in that notebook, and it has to do with his memory. Oh, he has a really bad memory. It could be that. That would explain why he also went to Ellen to ask for something. Because he trusts her more than himself, basically. Well, we're gonna have to check this. Now I'm kinda curious. So that's why you two were... So why there were 2 receptions. I do love it. It's like, oh... So that's why. Wait, so you knew, but at the same time you didn't. Wait, does he seriously not know why the reception was held twice? Oh, that makes me remind myself of something where that Ganit said. I haven't played much of that lately, but I do sometimes play in the Heavens Burns Red. And there, you get to know about the other squads here and there. And most of the time, it ends up kind of sadly. For example, there was one in the squad that didn't survive by basically protecting everyone else. Which is, yeah, that pulled heartstrings. But there is basically a team where there is the team leader and a little girl. Something happened when his sister died and suddenly his memory isn't working as it should. Concussion or something probably then. But basically, these 2 people are like a evil mad scientist and her minion. And the minion is basically like a child with like a little military-looking hat with 2 taped horns and some sort of like crab claw. And you like talk to them each time, and they always talk about taking over the world and everything. In the end of that, yeah, no problem. I don't complain yet. I'm just like theorizing and guessing. That's mostly like it. But what is like heart-tearing in that game is that you learn why they're doing that. Because it's not like both of them want to take over the world while the world is being destroyed. It is a game. The little kid, which is the minion, has some sort of sickness that each time she falls asleep, she basically resets her day. She relives her day over and over again. So she believes they're playing a game all the time. And because they can't just really tell her what's going on over and over again, her basically friend is just playing along like nothing has happened. Like, you just made me remember that. I'm not joking. Like, when I played that, it was actually kind of like heart-tearing that moment. So, the cover-up scheme, that fake trip through time, you're not the one who was behind it all? Pierce Nickety stated in court that you weren't the one who ordered it to be carried out. Pierce said that? I see. I leave him in charge of everything around me. So, whatever he decides to decide is, in essence, my decision too. Wait. So you're saying that whatever he decides, in a sense, what you decide, because he doesn't need your approval. That's okay. So I take it you didn't know anything about the cover-up? That's none of your business. But you were in 2 wedding receptions in a row, and still you claim to know nothing? I have nothing more to say to you. Please leave. But Soren, he's gonna throw a paper plane at me. Edie's gonna give me a secret message, which is a way of basically, I don't know, poking my eye out so I leave. Ow. Oh, there's something written on this paper airplane. It probably just says leave. Let's see. Yeah, go away. Close enough. It doesn't get any clearer than that, huh? He's looking especially uncooperative, but maybe I can grab his attention somehow. This is one piece of evidence I don't know much about. It's worth a try. Do I? What don't I know about? A record of key? No. What don't I know about? Well, I technically don't know about this thing, but what does that have to do with anything? Fuck it, I'm gonna try. It's not gonna lose or anything this time. Does this bring anything to mind? No. Even some small, vague detail will do. Yep, apparently not. Okay, so what exact... Oh! This thing, perhaps. Sis. I'm sure your sister will want the truth of this case to be known. How rude. Is intruding on the private lives of others a part of your job as a lawyer? I think so. Oh, I apologize. Guess showing the picture of his sister wasn't a good idea after all. Okay, does he have anything else? This thing? No. What is it? Oh, this thing perhaps. What are you showing me that for? Mr. Sprocket. God, it's annoying. I can't read him at all, not even with an item as loaded with sentiment as this. This thing? Nope, apparently not. That, I did already do that. This? Nope. What I don't know anything about? I think I've, like, used everything in my arsenal. I thought this just because of pulling his heartstrings, that did not work. I don't think showing him, like, a murder weapon would help. What's this? Oh, the statement, perhaps. Nope. You apparently were not a third party. I'm just trying everything right now. This? There isn't really anything. I didn't get anything more. No, I did not get anything more. What sort of piece of evidence do you not know about? I don't think he gives a damn about these ones, to be honest. I'm gonna do these anyway. Oh. Okay, apparently it does. I've already said a lot about this one. It's not like it like doesn't have a lot of evidence on it. You're throwing everything at him. What's next? The kitchen sink. Yeah, give me a kitchen sink. I will throw it at him. Soren, have you ever seen this before? His fucking pen is about to die. That's... Soren. What is it? Nothing. When did this whole the manner change all of a sudden? I thought his sister perhaps died in like a car accident or something. What if she got stabbed and that just makes him remember that? He's gone pale as a ghost too. Speaking of, he's dead. Nick, look at his stomach, he's bleeding. Oh. The manner. Ah, the manner, thank you. Hold on, how do I read? Why don't we just see what it says here? Ah, the minor, okay. The menor. The menor? I am so bad at this stuff like this. Hold on. Easy for me to listen to it. I'm gonna have to do this now. Okay, hold on. Demeanor? Demeanor. Okay. Jesus. I had to listen to it. For some reason, when it's me and text, I like just take it literally. Like near nerd. Demeanor. So he was the one that got stabbed by him. Get him to the hospital quickly now. How long has he been walking around with that? Poor Soren, that must have been a serious wound. Perfect, but his sister did die in a car accident, or, well, afterwards. Oh, fair enough. I don't know why, if it was something I remembered, or if it was just something that I thought of. Just trying to figure out if my microphone is a bit too far up. Because I noticed that it works better the closer it is to me. There we go. But I noticed that sometimes I actually like hit my chin on it. So I was just thinking that maybe his injury is... What's this? Oh, it's Soren's notebook. He must have dropped it in the rush to get to the hospital. Oh, his notebook, huh? And what was written in it? Don't you? Come on, you know you wanted to take a peek. Oh, take a peek. I feel guilty snooping around in somebody's personal notebook, but maybe we should take a little look-see. Whoa, it's filled with big words written in tiny letters. Big words in tiny letters. I guess he used his notebook to write down his inventions ideas. Huh? What is it? Did you find something? After March 8th of last year, the content of this notebook changed dramatically. Like how? Well, ever since that date, Soren's been writing down every detail of his life. As in every. That must be a thick-ass notebook then. But that depends on also like where he started. If he writes down everything. Maybe he decided to start keeping a diary. But this is way too detailed to be an ordinary diary. Either he's really compulsive, or maybe he's just plain forgetful. Dun dun dun! Yeah, something definitely happened there, either trauma or head damage or something similar. But is it really as simple as that? I feel like something happened on March 8th that made Soren change. Well, why don't you let me take a look at that and I'll tell you. Hey, Maya, let go or rip it. Oh, something ripped. Now look what you did, you dropped it. You should just let me take a look. How is it my fault? Oh no, Nick! It fell into that pool of Soren's blood. I can't read a thing on these 2 pages now. Uh-oh, you're going to get it now. I guess it really is my fault after all. Were the kid there when his sister died? Might have been. I'm just guessing mostly. Let's just put it away carefully for now. We can't let anything else happen to it here. I'm just waiting for him to try and actually remember that day where they dropped it in blood. It's like, oh shit. Hey, look, there's something sticking out of the notebook. It looks like a newspaper article. Let's see. It's about a car accident Soren's sister died in. Ah, so apparently we heard about the car accident. It was just that for some reason I forgot it was a car accident. It happened on March 8th. Does it say Soren's notebook completely changed? Oh, wow. What else does it say? It says the driver of the time of the accident was dumbass Gloomsbury. Well, what a dumbass. It says Soren was in the car too, and that he had sustained severe injuries. This looks like just like Pierce said. Soren completely changed after that accident. So Gloomsbury was driving the car when they got into that accident. That opened up the distinct possibility of Soren holding a grudge against Gloomsbury. You think Soren could have? I don't know. It's not like I have any proof. Well, if this thing is his blood, then that means that Gloomsbury tried to stab him. Think if it was like actually Ellen that hit him once, and then Soren was stabbed by Dumbass, and Soren hit him another time, and that's what he died of. That would technically still be self-defense. It's just that it happened twice, so I don't know. It's not like I have any proof. We should talk to Pierce about this when we return to Soren's notebook to him. Though he doesn't seem to be here right now. Maybe he's at the Flying Chapel. And no one has picked up the key card yet. He's just laying there. Okay, back to morning, Doc. Morning. Still want to know what happened with the sign, because how the hell does this thing... Well, at the same time, it was down there, which means it doesn't need to fly high to actually, like, hit it. Mooring Dock. Okay, Mooring Dock. For some reason I read it as morning first. I sure hope Pierce is around here somewhere. Ah, Mr. Wright. Miss Fay. Ah, hello, Pierce. We're just looking for you. Ah, I'm sorry, Master Soren's sudden departure earlier. You have my sincerest apologies. I was totally understandable, really, but shouldn't you be at his side right now? Ah, it's fine. The other side. Think carefully. Soren notes down everything in his notebook. Why would they have a grudge against... True, he would be able to read if he had a grudge. I feel like it's gonna be something sad, like they were in the crash together, and when she dies, she says something to Soren and like, write to me, let me doing always. I don't know, perhaps. It's fine. The other servants are with him, and I am constant contact with them. Oh, there we go. The turret. I'm not gonna lie, first time I saw that, I thought it was like a turret. Don't forget to give him his pain medication. And be sure to keep him well hydrated. Also, see to it that he is not up and about. He needs complete bed rest. Is this what happens when you're too rich for normal peasant phones? Who knows? I must return to Master Soren now, but did you want something of me? True, but it's written so someone could also just as easily alter the journal to write anything bad relating to them. Fair enough. That is actually true. It could be like a programming book, like they just change this the page, and it's like, oh fuck, they actually do this. Oh well. Actually, here's Soren's notebook. He dropped it when he collapsed. I hope Pierce doesn't notice the bloodstain. Well, at the same time, if he dropped it, he could have dropped it in the bloodstain, so... Ah, thank you very much for this. I will see it personally that Master Soren gets it back. Thank you. I'm just waiting that Soren is not gonna have his notebook and be a complete wreck. I trust you did not look inside. Ah, of course not. Ah, because it is filled with numerous pattern-worthy ideas, you see. Look, I know you're busy, but would you mind if I ask you a few questions about the case? Well, as I said, I must be getting back to Master Soren. So, if you could make it quick, I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it's Pierce. That was fair enough. Alright, I make it as quick as I can. We get one question. Oh shit, we get one question. I'd like to ask you about the cover-up you tried to pull off, if you don't mind. I told everything there is to tell in court today. I have no idea what we'll be guessing. What should I guess, Gab? Disposing of anything that may harm the Sprocket family's reputation is simply a part of my job. Sounds like a lovely job description. So you're calling yourself a personal assassin? Or hitman, more or less? I have nothing more to say on the matter. I will say, I do think it is wise to spend time on topics that have already been discussed. Right. I got Valkyria Chronicles 2 and I can't stop playing it. I've been playing it for 5 hours. Yeah, but Valkyria Chronicle games are actually fun. I had a hard time the first time I played the one I have, but it was fun. I can't believe I was so close to the end the first time I played it, but I was like so weak against everything. I was like, nope, fuck it, I have no idea how I'm doing this. Yeah, it's really addictive. And it's also so long because of all the cutscenes and stuff. Pierce, could you tell us more about this accident? Where did you find that? And did I not already tell you about that accident? You did, but you conveniently left out one crucial detail. The fact that dumbass Gloomsbury was driving the car at the time. Oh, did I not mention that? I suppose I simply did not come up then. If Mr. Gloomsbury caused the accident, Why didn't the Sprocket family fire him? Wouldn't that usually be the natural consequences of such a huge mistake? Ah, please do not misunderstand. Gloomsbury stayed on with the family. On Master Soren's request. Huh. Interesting. What? That is the type of person Master Soren is. Perhaps it was the influence of Miss Selina's kind nature. Hold on, just doing a thing. Quick. There we go. She was such a sweet person that even in her last moment, she thought of Master Soren. Not only did Soren not hold a grudge against Gloomsbury, he insisted on keeping him on. I really don't understand how that guy minds work. So, you were present for Selina Sprocket's last moment? Ah, yes, in my professional capacity. The accident happened on the way to a certain party. What kind of party was that? Ah, it was Miss Selina's engagement party. Gloomsbury's injuries were minor, but Miss Selina and Master Soren's were critical. They were both brought to the Sprocket family's regular hospital. Wow, to have such a terrible thing happen on what was to be a day of celebration. Thanks to the surgeon in charge, Master Soren pulled through. But Miss Selina, I am guessing you were to be the husband? Mostly because you have the same clocks? The last word Miss Selina said to me were... Please help Soren. Ever since then, I have attended Master Soren and tried to help him in any way I can. I see. Also, I had my first class today, and turns out I'm gonna be learning more about making websites and browser stuff. And that started with us learning Java today. I'm kind of dreading it. Me remembering last stream we talked about Java and stuff, and it's like, oh, dear lord. Selina's fiancé must be devastated. Ah, indeed. The shock of losing Miss Selina was so great, he quit being a surgeon. Oh shit, wait, you mean that the private doctor was also the surgeon, which means that was you? He was a surgeon? Wait, the surgeon who tried to save them both was he? Yes, he was Miss Selina's fiancé. Java isn't super fun, but it's still better than... Oh, okay, I mixed both of those together for some reason. Fair enough, fair enough. What a terrible tragedy. How awful. So, where is her fiancé now? Ah, good question. I wonder that sometimes myself. Are you trying to hide that from us, or are you just like, don't care that nobody knows? So Selina had a fiancé. I'd like to find out more about him, but I doubt I will find him anytime soon. Ah, so, are we done here? I am afraid I must be getting going. Could you please just tell me a little more about Soren? There is nothing more to tell. I can't seem to get any real answer out of him just by asking me questions. But there is that piece of evidence still I don't know much about. Maybe he'll tell me something about it. Are you talking about the candelabra? Wait, hold on, where am I going? It is called candelabra. Wait, hold on, what is it called? What's it say? Yeah, candelabra. Here's. Have you ever seen this candelabra before? No. I don't know anything about it. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Does anyone have any matches? We're gonna help out. My Magatama reacted. He was trying to hide something from me. I had to break those cyclocks and find out what. Don't tell me it was something like stupid that Gloomsbury tried to do something and Soren might have managed to kill him by being attacked as well. And this guy's just trying to save Soren and it's like, you know what? Elling's the one that's gonna just take the L here right now. That's kinda fucked up.
Take that!
Pierce, you're hiding something from me about this candelabra, aren't you? It is none of the candelabra. It is one of the candelabras from the Flying Chapel, is it not? Is there something special about it? Well, it's painted hella red. Actually, yes. There's some blood on it, you see. I think the blood might belong to this person. Oh, there he is. Soren has a rather nasty wound on his body, doesn't he? Yes, Master Soren is indeed injured. Are any of the other people involved with this case injured? Not as far as I know. He has been walking around with this for at least one day, or half a day or something. I see. Then let me ask you this, P.S. Do you suppose Soren could have been more directly involved than you're letting on? Well, what in the world are you made would make me think that? Oh, I got my reasons. Mr. Gloomsbury's fingerprints were found on this candelabra stem, which leads me to believe that Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed Soren with it. You can't possibly think Master Soren is the one responsible for the murder. I don't have any conclusive evidence of that at the moment, but I do think he had a motive. This proves that, yeah, had a motive. As we said before, like, nothing says about having a grudge, but this is what at least points towards it. Mr. Gloomsbury was the man responsible for taking Soren's sister away. Let's suppose that Master Gloomsbury did stab Master Soren with a candelabra. Can you prove that it had anything to do with this case? He might have been stabbed on some other location for some other reason. Sorry, but I can't prove it was related to this case. Oh, really? Soren's stab and Mr. Gloomsbury's death are definitely connected. Oh, then now. I guess it's a photo of this, because that's where he was stabbed. That's also where the body was hidden. A bloodstain was found on the side of the lift that goes between the hold and the vista deck. His blood matches the blood on the candelabra. I obtained the results straight from the police, so I can assure you this information is correct. This blood stain on the lift indicates an important fact that shows it's... Soren was there during the crime. Soren's blood is on the lift, which can only mean one thing. He was there, wasn't he? Soren was at the scene of the crime. You are very astute, Mr. Wright. It appears I cannot hide this from you any longer. Very well. I will tell you everything. There you go. Alright, so what is your secret? Tell me your secret! God, I love doing that just because of the nostalgia. Could you tell me more about Soren's injury? Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmise, Master Soren was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception. The happy couple was in the reception hall when suddenly Gloomsbury appeared. He attacked Miss Ellen and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with a candelabra, he said. Okay. Even though Master Soren was badly injured, he went after Gloomsbury. Oh, so we're gonna have an ad in 5 minutes. We're gonna have an ad in 5 minutes, what I was saying. So Soren really was at the scene of the murder, wasn't he? Ah, yes, that is correct. However, by the time Master Soren arrived at the scene, Gloomsbury had already been murdered. Pierce is saying that Soren was at the crime scene, but he didn't have anything to do with the murder itself, Even still, why did you try to keep such an important piece of information from me? I'm very sorry. Master Soren's injury and Gloomsbury's murder were not directly related. Bullshit. They were at the same time, same place. Do not say they were not directly related. So I decided not to mention it, so as not to unnecessarily complicate the investigation. Which means you just made it worse for everyone. Now then, I am sorry, but I am afraid I must go. Go now, but please excuse me. Thank you for your time. And he's gone. Wonderful.
Pierce should have just told us everything in the first place and saved us all the lot of time.
Yeah, I guess it is indeed that simple for him. He's the family butler after all, and surgeon. He sure didn't make our job any easier though, did he? But at least we learned something new. Soren was there at the scene of the crime.
Oh, that's true. One step forward is better than none. So, what next, Nick?
Let's see. The forensic team might be done investigating the reception hall by now. Let's go check it out.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, didn't they say they actually fixed the cow-bull thing? There we go. Well, I see one of them. Then we have a maid over there. Looks like the police are done with the investigation in here. I wonder if it's okay to take a look around now. Oh, who's that? Oh, yo. Oh, hi, Emma. Would it be alright if we investigated this room now?
Sure, the police are all done, so go for it. Oh, remember that broken lantern? I restored it to perfection. I have to say, it's some of my best works.
Sounds like the repair job was a resounding success. Thanks, Emma. I'll take a good look at it too.
Well, I have to be getting back to the station. Try not to mess up the crime scene if you can help it.
We'll be careful.
I'll be seeing you.
Alright.
Bye, Emma, and thank you.
Well, should we get started? Sure. Where's the bull? It must be somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. No, other than the black tape everywhere, it's kind of fine. Nah, hold up. Hold up, hold up. Hold up, that's not right, that's not right. That's not right, that's not right. Hold on. Sorry, I'm kind of skipping this because I wanted to check something first. It's pretty smashed up. It must have been a lot of work to piece it back together. She gets an A for effort, at any rate. A lot of tape, but yeah, it's standing. But yeah, look, hold on. Do we have an image of the other one? No, wait, I thought we had an image of the other one. Because I'm pretty certain the handlebars are wrong. The white one is on the inside, not the outside. Huh? This wheel handle on the back has some red blood on it. It looks like somebody gripped it with a bloody hand.
Maybe the blood got there when the killer was putting old Doom and Gloom body inside. Do you see anything else worth noting?
Well, there's another one of those lanterns over there. I might get a good idea to really compare the two later. There we go, so it's fixed. So I think that was that, yep. Okay, I'm gonna go directly to the other one because I'm pretty certain last time we checked this, they did mention that the other bulls, yep, you see that. The one on the inside is not painted, which means that they basically decided to put these two on the different side. Which means that I think that Mr. Doom and Gloom hid in there and probably just perished. This is the unbroken Pegable lantern. And this is the one that Emma restored. I wouldn't say they look exactly the same, more that they're made up of the same parts.
Wait a minute.
What is it, Maya?
I think there's something off about this Pegable.
Just about everything about it looks off to me.
I'm not quite sure about what it is, but some detail isn't quite right. Show me the restored lantern again.
I love the basically trying to point out to me as well. I already figured it out. Hey, I know. It's this, right?
What? Where?
Color of the wheel handle. Look, it's the wheel handle. It's a different color altogether. Emma got the inside and outside wheel handles switched around.
Oh wow, you're right.
And there's blood on this handle, as if somebody gripped it with a bloody hand.
Oh, bloody hand.
Right. Which means that the blood got on the handle from inside the lantern.
Do you think the blood got there when the killer was putting the body in the lantern?
It's really hard to say, no, because how would the killer actually get to that handle? That's the problem. The only bloody hand it could have been is whoever was inside of it. Oh, there's something new over here. This is where the murder weapon, the timekeeper, was displayed. I guess it's in police custody now. Huh? What is this? A key?
Let's ask the maid about it.
Oh, good idea. She might be able to tell us something. Excuse me, could I ask you a question?
Oh, of course. What would you like to know?
Do you know anything about this key?
Oh, it is the key that starts up the timekeeper.
Startup key?
Oh, that's right. Oh, the first startup of Love Ceremony was so beautiful. The bride and groom each had a symbol of their love, and when they put them together, oh, how romantic it was.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to check something. They can have like a triangle in it. Does this also have like a triangle in it? First startup of Love Ceremony. What exactly did that entail? Also, hold on. It does have like a triangle in the middle, so perhaps it made it like a cog key. That you have to put this inside of this, which more or less means the wedding night, and then you just spin both of them together.
Oh, it's a ceremony in which the couple activates the timekeeper together for the first time. I suppose it was kind of like a cake cutting ceremony.
And what are these symbols of their love you mentioned?
Oh, well, that's kind of an industry secret, so I can't really say. I'm sorry, I'd better get back and getting back to my work.
Looks like there's more order from above not to talk about it. Hey, I think that tablecloth is new. Must have changed it. It's changed it since yesterday. Oh, I'm wrong person. How? How could you tell?
Because the food stains that were there are now gone.
I should have known it because it's food related. Fair enough, I guess.
It's another beautiful day outside, isn't it?
Yeah, if only it wasn't the scene of a murder, we could really enjoy it.
True.
It must be tough for the maids to have to work on a beautiful day like this.
Oh, we don't mind.
Well, I didn't think you could hear me all the way from here.
We don't think of it as simply cleaning. It is more like we're wiping away all the sand stuck onto this airship.
That's a way of saying it. Well, talk about the vote. I guess we should check out everything on this of interest in this area. Don't really think I have much more, right? We have a few maids just scrolling around here.
Oh, excuse me, is the fog machine ready to use now? Oh no, I'm afraid not. And we only put the dry ice in when there is an actual reception. Oh, I see, that's bad.
She still wants to blast me with a cloud of smoke, doesn't she? We have another maid over here. Hey, take a look at that door. I wonder where it goes. Shall we open it and see?
Wait. Please don't open that. It is the emergency escape hatch. It leads directly to outside. You will fall to your death.
Phew. You did check the sparkling thin key, I think, right? Was in the kitchen for a minute or so. Yeah, I did. They went back. It's as I said to myself. It was basically like this key goes into this thing, like a wedding night. So yeah, I got the key. No worries. It basically forced me out because I found everything already.
I'll say.
Also, emergency exit that just leads out. Like, understandable. As long as you have anything like a sort of ramp or something, sure. But just leads outside, I don't think it's an emergency exit. It's an emergency exit. Ugh. Well, I think we checked out about everything relevant to this case. Oop. Who? Oh, shit. Oh yeah, he doesn't have his book. He doesn't have his book. Soren, shouldn't you be resting in bed? You're injured. How do you know about that? Never mind. My notebook. Have you seen my notebook? I can't find it anywhere. Oh, you pain in the ass, Nicole. What's the matter with him? My notebook. I have. Oh, good lord. There we have him. Master Soren, I told you to stay in bed. My notebook. Here you go. Yes. This is it. So Soren gets emotionally unstable without that notebook of his. Well, it looks like he calmed down now. Soren, do you mind if I talk to you for a minute? I cannot allow you to do that. What if his wound were to open up again? He needs to rest. I guess you're right. Now, if you excuse us, Master Soren, let's us retire. All right. Damn, he really looked like a wreck there. He definitely did not like not having his notebook.
There they go.
Pierce is right. I guess it really isn't in any condition to be questioned. Well, let's get back to the agency and sort of through what we have learned. Oh. I went to the wrong place. For some reason I thought I was on the right side. I had to like move there. Athena, how goes it go? How goes it with the magic tricks? We're back. Anybody here?
Oh, hi, boss.
Athena, I thought you were with Trucy.
I guess you could say that I'm taking a short break. But enough about me. What about the investigation? Did you find out anything?
Well, turns out that the third person Ellen says she saw on the crime scene might have been Soren Sprocket.
What? Really?
Someone has probably fiddled with someone's notebook. Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely.
I always thought he seemed suspicious. the thing is, by the time Soren got to the Vista deck, the murder had already occurred, apparently. Yeah, no way, I don't buy that, not for a second. It's a cover-up, I tell you. That's certainly possible, it's already happened once. And as a lawyer, it's certainly a possibility I have to pursue, but what? It's your job, right? So pursue the heck out of it. Just do it. Yeah, but is that really what's best for Ellen? Soren could be found guilty if the truth comes out tomorrow. But if we don't pursue this possibility, Ellen could be found guilty instead. Oh man, either way, it sure doesn't spell out happily ever after for the two of them. So, what are you going to do with Mr. Wright? I can't let an innocent person get convicted. So I guess all I can do is pursue the truth. Even if it ends up devastating Ellen. Devastating Ellen. What a tough call to make. Still, there's always a chance, right? Maybe something will come up during the trial that will save the marriage. I hope so. I really do. Well, Maya, let's go. Break the news to Ellen, you mean? Yep. Oh, Mr. Wright, please take me with you. I bet I could help you counsel Ellen through this piece of bad news. Athena, I appreciate the offer, but don't you have somewhere else to be? Do I? Athena, what are you doing here? I've been looking all over for you. Come on now, let's go back to practice. Oh, it's kind of funny how she is like, I can't handle this. But somehow, even though Apollo didn't want to deal with it, he did at least, like, handle it. Boss, you gotta help me. A lawyer always keeps the promise, Athena. Boss! If you bail on me one more time, Athena, I'm going to use a real blade on you. Jesus. Sorry, Athena, but somebody gotta do it. Better you than me, though. Hang in there, kiddo. Come on, Maya. We better get going. Alright. She's gonna be pissed at us. Each time we even mention Soren in a bad way, she is freaking out. I do wonder how quick we can actually bring out her cute side. Hello, Ellen. Oh, how did your investigation go, Mr. Wright? Before I answer that, I need to ask you something. Was Soren with you when Mr. Bloomsbury attacked you in the reception hall? I'm sorry if I kept it from you. Casually going, I'm stab you with a real sword. Yeah, kinda. Stab you with a real sword. Like, that sounds nice. So I kept quiet about it. I'm really sorry. I see. I thought it was probably something like that. Listen, Ellen, I'm afraid I had to make a very difficult decision based on what I found out. What kind of decision? This is very hard for me to say, but the mysterious person you saw at the scene of the crime was most likely Soren. What? There we go. I don't know how long that was, but it wasn't that far. Slow. Can make it kind of quick. In other words, in court tomorrow, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to propose the possibility that Soren is the true culprit. No, Soren is innocent. But don't you see, if I don't try to pursue that line of thought, you'll be found guilty. Please, Ellen, calm down. I don't think we'll be able to talk to her today. Soren just can't be found guilty. I'd much rather I'd be found guilty instead. Ellen, you can't let yourself think like that. But marriage is for life, right? Do you really think you can run away from the truth and still be truly happy with him? Yeah, we really do, because she's just like, well, not emotionally unstable, but like, she's sensitive. And like, just talking about these things just makes her really upset. You're not married, so how could you possibly understand? You're married, but not apparently by book or something. Sometimes you just gotta do whatever it takes to make things work.
Sometimes, yes. If you just do it to make it work, that's actually sometimes not a good idea.
Nick, you talk to her.
Okay, don't just dump this all on me. I am single as hell, you know.
Mr. Wright, I'm innocent and Soren is too.
Oh, she's gonna cry again. I'll certainly do everything in my power. I just hope she doesn't lose control like this in court tomorrow. She probably will, at least if I'm starting to poke at Soren for a bit. Then definitely she will lose it. There we go. Yes, we're gonna continue, absolutely. 8:50 p.m. Damn, that's early. To be fair, I actually wake up mostly like 8 p.m. each day. Just automatically. So, the one thing we found out yesterday is that Soren was there at the crime scene. I only hope I can get some testimony from him that'll get the heart of the matter.
Mr. Wright.
Good morning, Ellen. Look, I have to say, that is a gray zone. Sometimes making it work would be for the better. Like if you have kids, having both parents around, like a normal family when growing up can make a huge difference. Oh, in that sense, yes, absolutely. I can absolutely understand that. And yes, I can agree it's a gray zone. Because sometimes the whole making it work might be that one side loves the other, but not the other side. And the one side that loves the other side basically wants to make it work. So it's kind of one-sided. So yeah, it is really a gray zone. It depends on how things works. So yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's as you say, it's a gray zone. Because sometimes it can just be as a good thing or a dumbfounded thing. It depends on the result and the beginning of it all. Look, I'm afraid you might not like the result of today's trial. Nevertheless...
Don't tell me you still think of going that route.
Wow, it was even faster than last time. And everyone outside in the hallways is like, what is going on in there? Yes. It's when it's hate and or abuse that make it work is not the right choice. Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely agreeing.
Soren is innocent. He can't be found guilty. Take me as the...
Ellen, please try and get a hold of yourself. Oh, she's gonna cry again. No. Damn, you actually pulled yourself together.
I believe in Soren with all my heart. How dare you doubt him?
I haven't doubted anyone. I am just saying facts.
Regardless of which one of them is found guilty today, it's going to be devastating for Ellen, isn't it?
We just have to do everything we can. That's the best we can do, you know. The trial is about to begin, Mr. Wright. Alright, let's go, Maya.
Yeah.
All rise. Day 2. Really be destroying them with facts and logics. Yes, we are. Court is now back in session for the trial of Ellen White. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Let's see now. Where were we? In yesterday's session, we found out about the Sprocket family's conspiracy to cover up the murder of Dumbass Gloomsbury with a second reception. You're taking advantage of our collective shock. The defense, as usual, made a nonsensical claim. Namely, that there was a third person present who struck the victim. Ha! We actually have one of those now.
Objection!
Hey, don't try to make it sound like I made it all up. The defendant herself made a statement about the existence of a third-party person, and further investigation has only proven her statement to be true. Then I presume the defense intends to focus on proving the identity of the third person. Is that alright with you, Miss Edgeworth? Indeed, Your Honor. In fact, I predict that the defense will most likely attempt to name Mrs. Soren Sprocket as the true culprit. Woohoo! You know us so fucking well. The funny part is I don't even think you have checked too much of the evidence yet. How did you... the driver during the accident was killed by Mrs. Sprocket's sister. Was the victim. All rise, all fries, them thighs all nice. All... I would change the rise to nice. Basically, all rise, all fries, them thighs all nice. Oh, good lord, that is probably one of the best rhymes, basically. Therefore, Mrs. Sprocket had a motive to murder Mr. Gloomsbury. That's what you plan to assert, is it not, Mr. Wright? Am I that transparent? That's nice. Come now, Mr. Wright, did you really think the police wouldn't uncover this information? Congrats on getting it in one, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, who's...
You're wrong. Sorry to do it. He's innocent.
Mr. White, please. What is it, Mr. Wright? I thought your claims about the existence of a third person came from the defendant. Yes, it did. Just that she thought it was someone else. It did. It's just a minor hiccup. Did you not discuss your strategies for today with the defendant, Mr. Wright? Oh, I did. And her strategy was basically, I surrender. Starting off on the wrong foot again and seriously cutting into my lifespan. It would appear that the defense is in disarray. And therefore the best way to clear things up is to ask Mr. Sprocket himself what happened. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Soren Sprocket to the stand. What? Very well. By leave, please bring the Sprocket to Mr. Sprocket to witness stand. Take the book from him. Yes, he has pants. I'm glad for that. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Sorry, we're probably gonna have to wait for a long... Oh, wait, hold on, it's making an airplane. Watch your bald head. Ow! There's something written on this paper airplane. Let's see. Sorry, Sprocket. Acting Director of Sprocket Aviation. Mrs. Sprocket, please give your name in words, not paper airplanes. It doesn't give a fucking shit. Now then, Mrs. Sprocket. Please tell that doubting lawyer that there what really happened at the time of the crime. Well, Mrs. Sprocket. Mr. Sprocket. Alright. I love that most of the times when he slams his hand, most people is like flinching and says, okay, I'm gonna do it. He is like, did you say something? Oh, he doesn't give a shit. He won't be to talk about what happened when the crime occurred. In other words, after the first wedding reception. When Elle and I were at in the reception hall, right? Not even the power of court can stop him from marching to the beat of his own drum. I was stabbed by Mr. Dumbass in the reception hall and collapsed to the floor. The next thing I saw was Ellen and Dumbass on the Vista deck. I knew Ellen was in danger, so I headed to the Vista deck. But when I got there, Dumbass was already... I don't want to believe it, but it must have been Ellen. Nothing else makes sense. Yeah, nothing else makes sense. It's like... It really wants to remember shit, but for some reason it's like, oh... Wait just a minute. Do you actually think Mr. Wyatt killed the victim? That's right. Thomas was killed by Ellen. Oh, this is unbelievable. How could you suspect your bride, a woman of your love? To be honest, it kind of looks like he doesn't want to.
Objection!
The truth can be cruel. Mr. Wyatt, you must be very upset. Is there anything you wish to say? Now I feel so bad. Like, I'm not even... Like, hold on here. Let me just check on her. Yeah, like, even the goddamn light in her eyes disappeared. I feel so bad now for her. No, I can't believe this, Soren. I thought that at least you would believe in me. The best way now to show your love for your crew is admit your guilt and try to attune.
Hold it!
Like, I'm not joking, she really does look dead inside. Like, the life in her eyes just disappeared. Like, this one time when we just talk about Soren and she started banging on everything and looking sad. That was, like, she was instantly killed there. Miss Edgeworth, I haven't even cross-examined the witness yet. Please hold on until you want to execute her here. And quit picking on the clearly distraught. Oh, yeah, I can't even pronounce that word, to be fair. Yeah, that's not cool, Miss Edgeworth. A court is where we seek the truth. But the truth is unyielding, even the truly pitiful. Mr. Edgeworth, I found it distasteful to make a lady cry. Yes, because he has a wife at least. He understands. So, what are you going to do, Nick? If the third person that they saw on the Vista deck was Soren, then we have to prove Soren was there at the time of the murder. I don't see any obvious inconsistencies in his testimony, but we have to push forward. Like, imagine a train of thought when it's proven that the one you pushed like that is innocent. Yeah, definitely, like, good lord. I think in Edgeworth way, it's more of a he is pushing. But he's not pushing for I want to win. He is pushing for whatever comes out, but you're all gonna have to fight for it. Still, he does bully. Okay. First of all, I am gonna I'm gonna save actually, just in case, because I am certain I'm gonna fuck something up here. Because here is something. We found blood that is probably his in the lift. And he was stabbed by Thomas in the reception hall. I don't believe that, so I'm gonna do this directly. Bam!
Objection!
Damn, okay. It was worth a shot. I love how quickly I just decided, like, I'm probably gonna fuck this up. Okay, probably should press him a bit first.
Hold it!
Please tell me everything you can when you got stabbed. At the reception hall, when Ellen and I were enjoying the moment alone in the reception hall. Then Thomas appeared and stabbed me. He grabbed Ellen and the timekeeper and left the reception hall. Did Mr. Gloomsbury say anything at the time? I don't remember. I was stabbed. I was immobilized by the pain. I see.
Hold it!
The Vista deck, huh? But it was nighttime then. Could you really see them in the darkness? The moon was out, so I could see them clearly. From the looks of it, Thomas was trying to push Ellen and the timekeeper off of the side. So you saw the defendant about to the throne of the airship, you say? That's right. In such a desperate situation, it would only be natural for her to fight for her life. And the murder weapon was right there within her grasp. This is not going well. Okay. So, nothing yet. How many do we have? 5 of these.
Hold it!
I understand your bride was in danger, but were you really able to move with a stab wound to the gut? It was desperate. I was desperate, trying to push the pain out of my mind. I see. So adrenaline kicked in and it gave you strength. Is that right? I don't see much of anything in this statement that I can refuse. That's right. I almost passed out several times and made it way back to the wisdom.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely sure, Mrs. Sprocket? That by the time you got to the Vista deck, the murder had already been committed? Yes. But the Vista deck is just one on the other side of the glass window in the reception hall. Shouldn't you have been able to get there right away?
Objection!
Mr. Wright, have you investigated nothing? Yeah, to get to the Vista deck, you need to go down, take the elevator down, go to the hole, take the lift up. That is such a strange way of doing it, but fair enough. No matter how much one hurries, it would take at least 10 minutes. Well, that's unhelpful. But Soren had to have gotten there before the murder, or my claims won't stand. Do you have any ideas, Maya?
It's definitely easier to prove that someone did go to the hole than not. I mean, you can't leave anything if you don't go someplace, right?
Can't leave anything. Wait a minute, I think Maya's onto something here. The lack of a certain something actually proves that Zoran didn't go to the hold. What's the matter? Are you stumped already? No, I'm far from stumped, Miss Edgeworth. I know for a fact that Mrs. Sprocket didn't go to the hold. You and your pepper-thin plums. Paper-thin, pepper-thin. Fair enough, I kinda like him. Why not? Pepper is kinda nice. For some reason I read it as pepper because I read it like peppermint thins. It was like, for some reason my mind went into, ooh, cookie. Mrs. Sprocket's bloodstain on the lift proves he went through the hole. So what possible proof could you have that he did not, in fact, go through there? Simple. It was on the side of it, not on the top of it. You want proof? You got it. You can do this, Phoenix. You got to be some proof that Soren didn't go through the hole. Well, Mr. Wright. This proves that Mr. Sprocket didn't go to the hole. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I wasn't meant to actually do that, but yeah, it just said that the last one was Ellen. Sprocket never took that one. As anyone can see from the hold entry record, there's absolutely no mention of Soren Sprocket entering the hold. The defense asserts that Mr. Sprocket used a different route to get to the Vista deck. You can assert all you want, Mr. Wright, but can you actually prove another route exists? I can. I think. I hope. I can't prove it. If it's just a bluff, I have to present something. Anything that could prove existence of a faster route to the Vista deck. I think it took the emergency exit. And basically like clammed onto the side of the whole balloon. Or blimp, that's what it's called. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Show us how Mrs. Sprocket got to the Vista deck. The only big-ass door there is in this place. To save his bride from danger, Mr. Sprocket opened the escape hatch and made his way along outside the wall to the Vista deck. Isn't that right, Mrs. Sprocket? Okay. That would certainly be a much... That would certainly be a much faster route to the Vista deck. Okay, what do you have, Miss Edgeworth? I am disappointed, Mr. Wright. Is that really the best you could muster? That escape hatch is not meant to be used to get from the reception hall to the Vista deck. I know. I didn't say it was easy. I said he did it. One slip, and that's all it would take for Mrs. Sprocket to plunge to his death. I have to agree. The defense claim is really stretching it. Well, yes and no. Like, you could get out there. It was a faster way, as long as he would want to, then he could. It is not stretching it extremely. It is a yes, common sense would not do it, but if you lose that, and it is... I understand how it sounds, Your Honor. But at this point, it's too early to definitely say that it didn't go that way. Oh, so that's what you're going with then, I take it. Of course, Your Honor. This is real life, Mr. Wright, not some cinematic drivel or comic. Do you have some sort of a logical explanation to share that would convince us of your claim? I do. Are you sure, Nick? Kinda. Actually, I have nothing. So I'll just have to wing it somehow. On what do you base your theory that Mr. Sprocket made his way along the outside? My theory is that he was able to go along the outside wall despite the danger is based on the power of authority. No, I think it's the power of love. Most everyone else there doesn't make sense. Technically, that doesn't really make sense either, but I would say the in a sense, yes, but I would say more of the adrenaline. To save the bride he loves, the groom risked his life to rush to her side. Mr. Sprocket was able to make it to the Vista deck despite the danger. Because of the power of love. The power of love! That love is a source of strength that can help one overcome any obstacle. I think I can relate, thanks to my own long, happy marriage. Well, he actually seems to be buying it.
Objection.
Well, buying and buying, it's not like it's untrue. This just sounds odd. The power of love, you say? That kind of illogical argument is hardly viable in the court of law. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? I'm afraid not, Miss Edgeworth. You should never underestimate the power of love. You'll understand one day when you get... Which... Oh, we're gonna stay single, huh? Exactly what is so wrong with wishing to remain unwed? Way to set him off, Your Honor. I love how much we're kind of bullying Edgeworth in this case. Just because of like, oh, you are good at being a prosecutor. But goddamn, your love life is absolutely shit. Never mind all this unscientific nonsense. Are you aware, Mr. Wright, that at the time of the crime, there was a huge propeller turning at full speed between the hatch and the Vista deck? Even if a person were to go outside through the hatch.
Whee!
They would be blown away in an instant. Where does your power of love get you now, Mr. Right? Are you spinning propellers, eh? In that case, I have to admit, it does seem impossible. I should have known.
Nick, you can't make that kind of face in front of your client.
Well, his name is Ed Edgeworth, not Loveworth. Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely fair enough.
The worst of times is when the lava have to force the biggest smiles. Right?
Right. I feel like I just saw Mia looking out at me through Maya's eyes. Oh, that had been happening before. She can probably do it again.
What's wrong, Nick?
I was about to say that another word for the sound of gapping at me like that.
Like a giant sunfish.
Thank you, Maya.
You just helped me remember something really important. There it is. That's the fearless smile I was looking for. Now give us a mind-blowing theory, just like you always do.
I have to turn my thinking around. Instead of wondering how Soren could have moved past that huge propeller, I have to think about what could have made it possible for him to do so. Your uncle, Mr. Wright, only makes that ridiculous face when his back is pressed against the wall. It really is. Wait, did I... My brain is going burr. Oh, gapping, yeah. Okay, yeah, for some reason I wanted just yeah, okay. Then I was right the first time, I think. Hold on. I just want to make sure. Okay, yeah, it was my brain went with the right word. It was just that I didn't want to say it because it sounded ridiculous. But I was going to say gaping, and I was like, no, hold on, it cannot be like that because that sounds so weird, and that's why I changed my mind to gapping. So, yeah, it was my brain just didn't want to say it for some reason. So mostly it was just my brain going, nah, it can't be that. But otherwise, I was apparently reading it right the first time. I just decided that the gaping sounded stupid at that moment. Mr. Wright. Oh, I read that. Therefore, please hurry. Please do. I didn't. I wasn't even given a moment. Mr. Edgeworth, it's still far too early to discount my theory. Well, you should never trust your gut feeling, that's for sure. Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that. What are you talking about? The airship's large spinning propellers have already shredded it to pieces. But if we think a little more outside the box, I'm sure we can find a way we could have made. It could have made it. Stop trying to stall, Mr. Wright. And show us how it could have been remotely possible, if at all. I must agree, Mr. Edgeworth, with Miss Edgeworth. Very well, Your Honor. There must be a way. Some way that Soren could have moved along the wall in despite of the propeller. Now then, Mr. Wright, what specifically would made it possible? Could the propeller been broken? Like, what? Okay, hold on. What if the propeller broke because it hit this thing? Okay, I'm gonna do this. Propeller broke. No, I was wrong. Okay, so the other theory, it wasn't flying, and somehow because it wasn't flying, it actually like hit the goddamn thing. Okay. It was a mix between like wasn't flying and broken propeller. Because something hit the sign. And I didn't know if it was the whole goddamn airship or if it was basically just the propeller of the airship. Same time, the propeller might actually be quite far up, so I guess not actually. What allowed Mrs. Sprocket to go along the outside wall in spite of the propellers is the location of the flying chapel at the time of the crime. The location of the flying chapel, but wasn't it flying high in the sky? No, Your Honor, I'm afraid it wasn't. What? Where was it? At the time of the murder, the airship wasn't flying through the sky, but moored to the ground. What? And if the airship wasn't flying, then that means the propellers weren't turning. Oh, he is murdering his pen again. I'm not joking, we used to have a teacher and when he gave us one of those like, what is it, ballpoint pens? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. They basically gave us a minute just to click on them, so we had like that out of the system. I'm not joking, it's like, okay, we're gonna have to use these pens today. I'm like, alright. And here we have a minute of just clicking. I'm not joking, like we did that. He gave us a minute to collect them, just so it's like getting it out of the system of wanting to just click the shit out of them. It's an airship, a blimp, so if a propeller got damaged, it wouldn't just lose control, but it wouldn't be able to steer nor propeller themselves forward. Yes, and that in the sense also made me think, oh, what if one of the propeller broke? And that's how they managed to hit the sign. Because I'm pretty certain whoever steered the goddamn thing wouldn't try to hit the sign intentionally. So that's where my logic went that, oh, the thing broke and either hit or the ship itself hit the sign because it was out of control. That was my logic basically. Something hit the sign, but I didn't know in what term. Of the propeller or the uncontrolled blimp or what would happen. Mrs. Sprocket could have gotten to the Vista deck along the outside wall. Is that right, Mrs. Sprocket? That face he got. It took me a second to understand like what happened, but apparently he decided to try and use his pen on the wrong side up. I don't remember. Ow, he stabbed himself with his pencil. That's gonna leave a mark. Even if the propeller wouldn't turn, it would have been far too risky to get that way. Ah, but Miss Edgeworth, you're forgetting about the power of love, and don't try to talk us out of this. Ah, yes, the amazing power of love. Oh, not this again. Very well. For the sake of the argument, let's assume this so-called power of love made it possible for Mrs. Sprocket to move along the outside wall of the airship. Can you prove that the airship was tied to the ground as you claim, Mr. Wright? Yes. I don't have any evidence that proves where the airship was at the time. You can prove it, can't you? Maya, can you think of anything we can use to prove it?
I can't say I can. Oh, wait. Didn't somebody see something outside of a window at the time of the crime? I think I remember someone saying as much. Do you have a piece of evidence?
Yes, we do. I've talked about it for a few minutes now. Well, what are you waiting for? The piece of evidence shows that was outside the airship at the time of the crime is this one.
Take that!
Mr. Butts, yes, exactly. This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the murder. Be prepared to see the dinosaur age. What kind of lousy drawing is that? It's a drawing made by Larry Butts. And what can you prove with that poor attempt of artistry? Simple, they traveled to time. Let's go back there again. We have not left that they actually was time travel. Larry made this drawing before he switched the lanterns. So he must have been right around where the murder was being committed. Now, if I could direct the court's attention here. Is that a pterodactyl? Does that mean that the airship actually went back in time to the Cretaceous period?
Objection!
Sorry, like I mostly just know the Swedish word of that, so reading that in English was something else. We've already proven that time travel is nothing more than a gimmick, did we not? Yes, but we haven't proven of what it is for something. Ah, we did. And I have no intention of bringing up that argument again. If you don't want to go back in time and do it again. But this drawing shows us an important piece of information. It shows us that the airship was actually moored on the ground. And what makes you so sure? That's easy. All you have to do is consider who made this drawing. I love the logic is... Who do you think made the drawing? Ah, makes sense. Saying poor attempt of artistry about something drawn by someone who has actually drawn and written a well-liked book is not a smart move for your character. That is fair. Like, it's as people say, it's just a one-hit wonder, but it's still a book, and it still was sold, and it was a kid's book, picture book, so yeah, it is actually true. Larry. That's right, it was Mr. Butts, and we both know what he's like. He must have seen something else and mistaken it for a pterodactyl. I can't argue with you there. When did you get down here and why? Hey, just wait just one doggone second here. What kind of moron do you think you guys take me for? I saw with my own eyes. A pterodactyl flew right by the window, I tell you. And he's sharp eye of an artist. Don't you believe me? No. Nope. Oh, we are your friends, but do not expect us to be too kind to you. Some friends you guys are. What about the judge? You believe me, right? Nope. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you need to leave this courtroom. Well, if you would. Yes, not only that, but many artists would not like you when they have the weapon known as art and can easily make a piece to tear you a new one. Ah yes, draw them as a furry. Wait, which one was the worst thing? Like, some artists did like these joke things. Either draw someone as a furry or draw someone pregnant. There was something like that I remember. It was a joke thing, but it was basically kind of the same thing. Like, oh, you are trying to mess with me? I'm gonna draw you as something. Like, ooh, okay, fair enough. Point taken. Don't take it personally, Larry. I know you're just being, well, you. Now, so you say what Mr. Butts really saw, well, there's some relation to what was outside the airship at the time of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. At least, I think it does. But this pterodactyl really proves the airship was anchored at the mooring dock. Yeah, better. Anyway, if it doesn't, my whole argument is a bust. If you're that confident about it, then please go ahead and tell us what it really was. Yes, Your Honor. This is easy because we've already done this once. Well, not done it, but we have been here and explained the whole pterodactyl form. Please take a good look at this sign. The sign? It appears to have been broken and then repaired. But what does the sign have to do with the pterodactyl? Please focus on this part of the sign. Don't know what exactly you're talking about, but many artists have made art to make fun of or criticize other being they said or done. Yeah, it was just me scrolling around Blue Sky or Twitter, and it was kind of like some comments about like, oh, I'm an artist. If you mess with me, I will draw you pregnant. And as I said, it's not like a kind of threat in a way. It is basically like basically artist joking. The part that broke off and got reattached. What about it? How about we turn it like this? Then they're gonna say caca caca. Also, it's gonna have an ad in 5 minutes. Oh yeah, artists can draw anything. Yes. Oh, that shape. Is a pterodactyl in the drawing. What Mr. Butts actually saw was this chunk as it was being blown through the air by wind. What? On the day of the murder, there were some heavy winds in the area of the morning dock. It's hard to imagine that this sign would make it up as high as an airship could fly. That means the flying chapel must have been anchored at the mooring dock that night. Isn't that right, Mrs. Sprocket?
Objection!
Don't try to disprove this. It's quite proof. That's more than enough of this power of love nonsense, you pop culture junkie. Present all the proof you want, but your argument is based far too much on conjecture. Why don't we return to reality now? Oh. Oh, I was about to sneeze. What do you mean, too much conjecture? Even if the airship wasn't flying, that alone doesn't prove the witness went along the wall. True, even now it's more than a possibility. Then how do you propose Mrs. Sprocket go to the Vista deck, Mr. Edgeworth? I noticed something as I went over the evidence. Please take a look at this hold entry record. What about it? Okay, I have to say, Edgeworth, are you actually a fucking moron? Does I have a... Yeah, probably. I don't see Mrs. Sprocket listed on here anywhere. Don't you remember? In yesterday's session, we had a very similar kind of argument. Did we? Honestly, Mr. Wright, are you going senile already? We talked about Larry Butts using the defendant's keycard to enter the hold. Oh, we did talk about that, didn't we? In other words, even if a person's name isn't on the entry record, it's still possible for the person to have entered by using someone else's card. Oh yes, because while he was bleeding out, wanting to go to his wife, he was snatching someone else's card that they probably had in their own goddamn pocket, and no one else saw the murder took place. Sure. Mr. Sprocket, you added the hole with Mr. Nicody, didn't you? Oh. The worst part here is that the way he was looking was like, I don't think I did, but then it's like, oh, I did. What? Why didn't you tell us that in the first place? P.S. is indispensable. I didn't want to mention him unnecessarily and risk having him wrongly accused. I couldn't do without him. Mrs. Sprocket, I asked that you testify in greater details about your movements that night. The truth is, I went to the Vista deck with Pierce. That's why my name doesn't appear on the whole record. I was badly injured from being stabbed, but I was frantic. By the time I reached the scene, it was all over. Take a look at this notebook, Phoenix. You know what it's supposed to look like? Yeah, exactly. Well, that doesn't help me a bit. Well, it depends on. They saw the beginning and realized it started to become a journal, but I don't think they managed to go all the way to the end. Mr. Sprocket, you conceal information from us time and time again. Who do you think you are, treating this court of law with such irreverence? That being said, I do appreciate the testimony you gave just now. Thanks to you, we now know why your name doesn't appear on the entry record. Now there are no more inconsistencies in the witness testimony. Yeah, hopefully. For you, at least. That's what I'm talking about. I bet the blood is either gone, will look like someone has been trying to remove it. True. That could be true, actually.
That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. He never leaves a loose end dangling. You okay, Nick?
I wouldn't be exactly call this situation okay. Somehow I feel like to coax the information we need for an opening out of... Somehow I'll have to coax the information we need for an opening out of him. Opening out of him sounded so weird, it kinda got me like off track there. Okay, let's just press everything, because now we are so far we have to press it before we actually present something. It was just me last time, like, haha, you were in the hold from the beginning, which means it takes you less than 10 minutes. You didn't mention this because you didn't want Mr. Nickody to fall under suspicion. Is that because he has something to hide? I just didn't want the police to take up his time with all the questions, that's all. And neither the company nor the household would function smoothly without him. I see. Well, it's not like Pierce is absolutely indispensable to the Sprockets. Anyway, getting back to your statement. When did you meet up with Mr. Nickody? We met up on the way to the Vistatech. I think Pierce and some of my relatives were on another floor. But Pierce heard a commotion and came running to his aid. He could hear the pandemonium all the way from another floor, huh? Mr. Wright, would you like the current state to be added to testimony? Yeah, have it added. Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. Yeah, this feels kinda odd, because Pierce heard a commotion and he came running. I don't know if I have any proof of it just yet, but like, we had the hall and nothing else, really. So if it was in the cabin, then there was nothing there, really. If it was somewhere else, couldn't hear it either.
Hold it!
Did Mr. Nickody come alone? I believe some of his subordinates were with him, but I don't remember exactly how many. I may say there were others, but seeing how they pulled that second reception off, I can't completely trust anything he has to say either. I see. So you, Mr. Nickody, and a few others headed to Visadake. Is that right? Ah, that's right. Huh. Hold on, let me just press everything here just in case. Your name doesn't appear on the hold entry record, because you entered with Mr. Nickody using his keycard. That's right. So I guess the hold entry record doesn't matter as much as we thought. But now that Soren's saying he was with Pierce and a few others, it's pretty tough to refuse that statement. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Cat got your tongue. Did you finally realize there's no point in continuing this trial any longer? Of course not. How about a smuggle look off your face? Mrs. Sprocket, please continue with your testimony.
Hold it!
Speaking of your injury, how are you doing now? The knife is deep, but continues to throb with pain. Unfortunately, my internal organs were spared. Knife, huh? The biggest issue here is that they are allowing Soren to be a witness. All Phoenix has to do to say is that Soren have a mega issue with his memory, so he has to write everything down in his notebook. A book that is super easy to make changes in. True, but I don't think Phoenix has yet to fully understand it. He knows he does it, but he doesn't understand the reasoning for it. Or did they say about that? No, I don't think they did. I don't fully no. They don't fully explain it. He just saw the notes basically. But one wrong move would spell the end for me. Even so, I've seen you up and about all over the place since the incident. I'm only following my doctor's orders to perform some daily light exercises. Mr. Wright, would you like Mrs. Brockett's statement to be about this condition added to testimony? Not that it appears especially relevant to me, but... Yeah, actually. Because he said knife wound. So, if that is his knife wound, then... It should be pretty damn obvious. If you can't put that one-on-one together, you should not be a lawyer. True. I can absolutely agree with you with that point. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he put one-on-one together. Yeah, knife wound. Ooh, spells.
Objection!
Spells a lovely beam. Mr. Sprocket, you just said your injury is a knife wound, didn't you? But the weapon you were stabbed with was this candelabra. A fact I know you're quite aware of. Yeah, because when we told him, it was basically like, oh, fuck, that's the thing, and then he just fainted. But Japanese is pretty dumb. Tusk Phoenix, yes. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As I surmise, Master Soren was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception. The happy couple was in the reception hall when suddenly Gloomsbury appeared. He attacked Mr. Ellen and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That's when Master Soren was stabbed with the candelabra, he said. Now he's trying to find the memory.
Objection!
It must have been a simple memory slip that made him misspeak. It happens to everyone. It has nothing to do with the case. I have no what I must have read that completely utter, like, I have been probably saying Master Soren and like Mr. Pierce so much that when they said Ellen, it was like, yeah, my brain just went to auto there. It went to an auto mode that is absolutely malfunctioning. Yeah, it took me a second, but yeah, I definitely went into, okay, they say Master and Mr. all the time, so I'm just gonna continue. I have to agree, Mr. Wright. You hardly need to make such a big deal over such a small mistake. But I contend that it's an important inconsistency. You gave Ellen a dog just like that, huh? Yeah, I did. Besides, I couldn't find anything else. This is the only thing I have to go after. And I say it's not important. Let's not waste any more time on this matter. Yeah, I agree. Everybody has a little memory lapse every now and then. Oh, wait, where am I?
Hold it!
But, Your Honor, please let me explain. But can you? Can you really explain to this court what makes this slip so important? Yes, I can, Your Honor. After all, it was Soren himself who told Pierce that he had been stabbed by a candelabra. This is more than a simple memory slip. There has to be some kind of reason to it. Well, Mr. Wright, please explain why the witness slip of the tongue is so important. The point to focus on here is why the witness will make the weapon used. The point of focus on here is why the witness would mistake the weapon he used to stab him. This is very important, just like you don't let someone with Alzheimer's be a witness. Yeah, fair enough. Think carefully, Phoenix. This could very well change the course of the trial. I see. So, why did the witness make that mistake, Mr. Wright? Mr. Sprocket identified the wrong weapon used against him because he has no memory of it. He don't remember the incident, let alone the weapon he used against him. Not only that, but I believe Mrs. Sprocket has some sort of memory disorder. Therefore, the defense contends that Mrs. Sprocket's testimony thus far is invalid. I think the reason why they let Phoenix be dumb but they don't put one on one together is because they allow me as a player to make that thought process. Because that now it is basically when it's brought up. Just because you can't find a flaw in his testimony, you want to throw it all out. Your baseless claim is nothing pure but pure slander for the witness' character. Miss Edgeworth is correct, Mr. Wright. Can you explain your grounds for making this claim? Of course, Your Honor. Think of what Soren had said. Always behave, that's where I'll find a clue. Very well, let's hear your argument then. My grounds for claiming that Mr. Sprocket has memory disorder is his notebook. The notebook he always has with him. I saw daily events and information about the people around him recorded in it. Oh, like a diary perhaps? No, Your Honor. It's much more detailed to be an ordinary diary. It's more on the order of a database, actually. A database, you say? That's right. For some reason, Mrs. Sprocket is apparently unable to retain her memories. That's why he witnessed every little detail of his... writes every little detail of his life down in his notebook.
Objection.
How could you possibly know that for sure? He might just be an extremely compulsive person. I thought so too, myself at first. To be honest, we accidentally got a stain on that notebook yesterday.
You mean you got a stain on it?
You're the one who tried to grab it out of my... Yes, we will be quiet. Never mind whose fault it was, just get to the point already. Right, sorry. Mrs. Sprocket. Nope, Maya. That happened because of you, yes. The page Miss Faye got stained on yesterday. That's a page with the details of your stabbing on it, isn't it? No, I only write in this notebook because it's very compulsive. Now, drop the subject already. Sorry, but I'm not convinced. I noticed an odd fact about your notebook, Mrs. Sprocket. On the earlier pages, you used to write down invention ideas. But after a certain date, you started writing down a lot more. And in much more details. I believe your memory disorder stems from what happened on that date. Something so monumental, it caused a memory disorder, Mr. Wright. You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but I do know what I'm talking about. And this is the proof. This is the thing that caused Mr. Sprocket's memory disorder.
Take that.
The car accident. You were involved in this car accident too, weren't you, Mrs. Sprocket? And the shock of losing your beloved older sister is what caused you to develop your memory disorder. Is it true, Mrs. Sprocket? Well, is it? Soren has something called anterograde amnesia. Interesting. Mr. Sprocket. It's true. That accident did something to my mind. What? Ever since that day, every time I go to sleep, I lose my memories. And when I wake up... Wait, hold on. So there is like a... Hold on, I have to check. Is it actually like a thing? Hold on. Like, I know it's a thing because it has a name. Basically, it can't make new memories. Hold on, let me just search of how this works, because then it might be exactly the same thing as Heaven Burns Red. Because as I said, it was basically like a girl there that thought everything was a game of evil scientists, because each time she went to sleep, she repeated each day. Alltså oroad. Mina saker som har inträffat vid ett visst punkt år sedan kan vara konsekvenser. Okay, it doesn't really say, it just says that you can't get any more memories. So, I would say this one is the more of the fact one. He knows he can't gain any memories, so he is writing it down. The other game is more of a, let's make it a bit more dramatic. Because otherwise, I think she would realize that she couldn't make any memories, rather than just reset. In a movie with Adam Sandler, where the girl likes forget everything each day. I don't think so. It's like that, but not as... What is the name of that movie? Because I don't know if I've seen it or not. When I wake up, the most recent thing I can't remember is the day I lost my sister. It's as if I'm constantly going back in time. It might be the same, though. It depends on like how this amnesia works. If they know that they can't... Well, I guess it depends on. 51st Dates. Don't think I've seen that one. Mostly because it sounds like a movie I probably wouldn't watch. But fair enough. That is truly tragic. And that is why he is depending on Ellen as well, because if he can't remember, he... Yes, go and eat a sack. Go and sleep. Go and knock yourself out. Have a wonderful, wonderful sleep, Ganny. And do take care tomorrow as well. An inconceivable time traveler who goes back in time whenever he goes to sleep. Yes, good night, Ganny. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest. Great movie. Recommend watching it. Fair enough. Besides, time travelers do exist, you know. But you wouldn't understand. Oh, fair enough. So he meant it like that. So that's what Soren meant. He was talking about himself. The reactions of the people around me each time I awoke made me aware of my condition. That's why I decided to write everything down in my notebook so I could move forward. So the only memories you have since that day are the ones written in that notebook. That's right. And since the page about your stabbing got stained, you couldn't read from it, could you? There's just one more thing I'd like you to clarify to me, Mrs. Sprocket. Exactly what are you feeling towards the victim? Mrs. Sprocket's feelings towards the dumbass Gloomsbury. Well, he's a dumbass. I don't know. That's right, Your Honor. The witness said that every time he wakes up from sleep, his mind goes back to the day his sister died. Oh, we are painting this picture. It is basically like, oh yeah, technically Soren is the one that said that he has no grudge against him. But if he wakes up every single day remembering it is your fault, then it's like, this is one of the only things he never can forget. Because this is the only thing burned in his mind of whose fault it is. Oh yeah, that is... Mr. Wright, you can't mean... I can mean, and I mean it, and I do it. Mr. Sprocket. Your pent-up feelings of anger and resentment towards Mr. Gloomsbury for the accident were renewed each and every time you woke, were they not? I guess yes. But you couldn't take it anymore, so you turned it to murder, is that right? What? Mr. Wright, are you saying that a witness murdered Mr. Gloomsbury? For revenge? The funny part is, not even Edgeworth can go against that for the reason of, oh, what is it you remember the most? Ah, when the guy killed my sister. Oh shit. Well, Mrs. Sprocket. Oh, hold on. Ellen, are you trying to stop us here? Yep, you are. Miss Wyatt?
Your Honor,
Shut up. What? Mr. Wyatt, what are you trying to do? I'm not gonna lie, but from the camera angle we have, I always thought we were on the left side. I don't know why. Mr. Wyatt, what are you trying to do? Don't tell me you still think of going that route. Ellen, please try to get a hold of yourself. I do wonder if that's why he made it a timekeeper. So it is like a it's as they say, it's like a what is it called? Time capsule that saves their marriage because he has difficulty remembering, but he doesn't want to forget it. So perhaps that's why he actually created it, just to like have a physical, I'm never gonna forget this moment memory.
my Soren didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who should be convicted.
But are we to understand that you are confessing your guilt? Alright, fair enough. No. Now, wait just... Ellen, why would you cover for me? After I testified that I thought you must have killed him.
I admit I couldn't believe my ears at first, but all I want is for you to be happy.
Could you not have this more or less wonderful moment right here, right now, in the middle of this? Please. Ellen is the only one involved in this that is 100% innocent. Oh, that is absolutely fair enough, to be honest. That person could not hurt a fly, but definitely could hurt her saucepan. No, not saucepan. Pan. Frying pan. There we go. I don't know why it took me a moment there to remember which one of the pans it was. We could just call it pan, to be honest. But without my notebook, I'd even forget those feelings of yours by tomorrow. Knowing that, do you still feel this way? You say that, but to be fair, you were actually wishing her to come home soon. And I'm pretty certain you did not just read that in the book and well, you could have.
You've loved me all this time, the same way you did before the accident. That's how I know that you're the same person I always loved. No disorder can change that.
I don't know what he thinks about himself right now. No. Your Honor, there are two things I'd like to correct. Two corrections? What are they? First of all, I want to withdraw one of my statements. Yeah, fair enough. That's the first one, understandable. Without memories to rely on, I took the police completely at their words. You can't be serious.
So, that means Soren never really doubted Ellen in the first place, did he, Nick?
He just couldn't remember it, and basically people told him, but she did it, you don't need to worry about that. Ellen really does love Soren with all her heart, but in order to save her, I'll still have to go after Soren. Oh, I hope you can forgive me, Ellen. What is your other correction, Mrs. Sprocket? The truth is, I never felt anger or resentment towards Dummas about my sister. What? Why not? That's because the one who caused the car accident was me. But about Phoenix's statement about Soaring hating Gloomsbury because he killed his sister, there's one teensy problem. Gloomsbury wasn't the one driving. Nah, with all of what he says now, he was. And I guess he didn't want to feel like the... Either he didn't want anyone to blame him, or he didn't want to want Soren to like think too much of it. So they basically switched places. Which makes it feel so weird that actually like Dumbass would do something like that at the same time, because it feels like he did care for the family in a sense. The order in court. Please continue, Mrs. Brocken. Nope, the family made him a scapegoat. Okay, yeah, I can see that. That is actually fair. I can see that. For some reason, that was not my first thought, but when you said it, I basically went, yeah. With thought of everything I've been going through, you're probably right. Or technically, you are right. I'm the one who killed my sister. But to protect my career and my future, my father made Dumbass take the blame. In exchange for money and the position of lead servant. Yeah, fair enough. So you see, Dumbass must have held a grudge against me, not the other way around. And he must have attacked Ellen to get his revenge on me. Are you sure about all this, Mrs. Sprocket? I'm very sure. It's all been written down in detail in my notebook. Plus, that's the only moment he remembers, mostly. That notebook is important evidence supplying background to this case. I must submit it as evidence. If he does that, he's gonna be completely lost. The lawyer said I had turned it to murder, but it's not just true. However, it is true that my older sister and Dumbass are both dead because of me and my negligence. I know more or less how it's supposed to be pronounced, just not like fully how to do it. I just glanced through Mrs. Brock's notebook. I wasn't able to read the part about where he was stabbed due to the bloodstain. Give him a PDA. Yeah, fair enough, actually. But what's written here about his sister's car accident is clear as he stated. You're on, as long as it matches what's written in that notebook. Can we still take the witness testimony as valid, in spite of his memory disorder? Yes, I believe we can. I understand now that the witness' memory is in disarray. But if what Mrs. Sprocket himself wrote in this notebook is true, then that means by the time Mrs. Sprocket's party reached the scene, the victim had already been killed. Edgeworth's right. Edgeworth right. I'm still in the same bind as before. But should I really simply accept the contents of the notebook? Disarray. It's not working, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Absolutely. As a substitute for Soren's memory. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Will you accept Mrs. Brock's notebook as an official representation of his memories? No. Wait a minute, Your Honor. The defense requests a chance to examine the notebook to see if it's trustworthy. Very well, but be quick about it. Yeah, because we have read it. We did tell Nicody that no, we did not read it. And which allows him to probably make some changes. But we can see the changes. So, how should we examine it? Well, we should look at it from all different angles and see where I find anything suspicious. Okay. Oh, since 1904. Wow. There's no point if I don't look what's inside. Let's have it open. With your permission, Soren. There we go. Yikes. No, it's just a page that Maya got all stained. But I guess it's not going to be very helpful at this moment. I'll keep going. Yeah, here we go. there's apparently a page missing, so it hasn't been tampered with the sense of writing new words. It has been tampered with, oh shit, he saw something. RIP! There goes the memory. This is the last page where there is writing. I think something about this page doesn't sit right with me. Oh, no shit. No shit. I better take a closer look. With what? Do you need a magnifying glass for that shit? Like, the whole page is missing. If it was finely cut out. It looks like a butterfly. It really does. It looks like one of those butterflies you did on, like, crafts and arts. You know, took a string inside 2 folded papers and just pulled it out. Huh? The page has been torn out. And it looks like there was something written on it. Let's do like detectives and use a pen on it. Bruh, Pierce, you're making it super fucking obvious that you ripped out a page. Yes, like if I would have done something like that, I would have at least have taken a knife or something really small and like cut it out. Not ripped it out, because then you can see all the tears and stuff. But basically cut it as far in as possible. Because then no one can see there is a page missing. Not because I also do have one of those like craft knives. So yeah, that would definitely work from my point perspective at least. Mrs. Sprocket, do you know what was written on it? Hell nah! Oh, that. I often tear out pages when I write somebody a note. I probably wrote something down for somebody, tore it out and gave it to them. Fair, actually. He has done that a few times with us. You can still find that a page is missing, but not just as quick and normal look. Yes, exactly, you can. But if you basically have 200 pages, or at least 100 pages, it's gonna take you time to notice that, there is actually a single page missing that's been like surgically cut out. But yeah, that's actually true. He does often write notes and rip them out. So yes, it is obvious that somebody had ripped it out, but at the same time, he often does rip out pages. Oh, yeah, but that solves that.
Objection!
Wait a minute. Yes, but that looks like someone ripped in haste and perhaps anger. Look how Soren rips out a page. Yeah, I can agree there, because he can make paper airplanes with them. If I would do that, it would look like hell and it would probably not fly as well. He rips them very nice. Wait a minute. We can't ignore the possibility that something important was written on this page. But now that the page has been torn out, how can we determine what was written there? Well, Emma, do you have any idea? Let's see. To find out what was written in the notebook, we should... Fingerprint powder? If we use fingerprint powder on the notebook, we might be able to see what was written. To be fair, that's kind of the same thing as like the whole pen over like the other paper thing. Fingerprint powder? How would that help us find what was written there? Well, if the writing left in the indentations on the blank page behind it, fingerprint powder would make those small indentations visible to the naked eye. Oh, stop. Fingerprint powder would only sully the notebook further. When you write, you make indentations on the other pages. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So you can use one of the pens. What is it called? The pencils. To basically like brush easily and check where it actually does. You know, like the little detective thing you like they do sometimes. Which I'm a bit uncertain if it fully works. It doesn't work as well as they do. It might work, but yeah. So basically that sense. Mr. Wright, if you use the powder and still don't find anything, then you must accept the notebook as a representation of the witness memories. It works. Ah, fair enough. I don't remember if I have tried it, but I do know that sometimes in series they do like exaggerate stuff to basically make it like, oh, we can see everything. But it wouldn't surprise me if it works, only that you cannot do it hard, you cannot do it this way, you have to basically like do it precision-wise. But it all depends on how hard you press when writing. Yeah, that's true. If I don't find anything, it's all over anyway. Powder, don't fail me now. Alright, here we go. It's gonna be... Is it not difficult to find, like... okay, it's more brown paper than white paper. Otherwise, it would be kind of difficult. Okay, we don't really need to fully see this because we know how to control this. Time to dust. Let's go. Alright, ooh. Okay, hold on. Damn, this thing is like... Ooh, okay, I can turn this thing. That's not fun. Oh, I can move the camera like this. Okay, I should have done that before. Dust, 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 dust. I'm just using up the whole jar, to be honest. Might as well. I'm getting it all back when I blow anyway. Oh, shit. I struck and killed dumbass. Huh. Yeah, I'm making the North Pole. I'm making a polar bear in the North Pole, actually. It says, I struck and killed dumbass. This is huge. At the same time, they did say he was hit twice, and Ellen never hit him. Which means someone else hit him a second time, so... I struck and killed dumbass. That's what's written on the torn out page. What? It can't be.
I don't believe it. There has to be some kind of mistake. Sora would never, could never.
Oh, she fainted. And we're just waiting for Soren to faint as well. Pilot, please get the defender to the infirmary at once. And give him her a glass of water or something. Apparently, the defender got too worked up. She's resting in the infirmary as we speak. I don't know why, but each time they say that, I feel like there's like an infirmary and some ice cream. Yes, she needs ice cream. But yeah, for some reason I believe there's like an infirmary in this housing. I don't know if they do have that or not, but it kind of sounds like they do, in the way of how they explain it. And now then, please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. This notebook is all Mrs. Sprocket has to remember things by. With this critical page torn out, not even Mrs. Sprocket himself knew the truth of what he had done. I'm the one who killed Dumbass. So it wasn't Ellen or like, at least he cares. Like, that's a weird thing. I don't really like him. Sounds like they do. Yeah, it does sound like they do. Like, yeah, I don't really fully like him, but that's because of, like, the way he acts, which probably is the reason, like, because of his, like, amnesia and stuff. But I am kind of glad, like, most times when they talk about Ellen, he at least have feelings for her. And he's afraid of losing those feelings. Mr. Sprocket, does this mean you were at the crime scene during the murder after all? I guess I must have been. But, Mr. Sprocket, can we really believe what's written in this notebook? Nobody touches this notebook but me. And when I sleep, it's under lock and key. I don't remember writing that I killed Dumbass, but I guess I must have. Well, now that we have confession, I'm afraid I must render my verdict. Of all the... yes, Your Honor. Please give your ruling now while Ellen is asleep. I Wonder Woman I love to see set free as soon as possible.
Soren really does love Ellen after all, doesn't he?
Yeah. So this is how it ends. But is that how it really went down? Is there really no way for them to both to be happy? I know we should consider anything written in the notebook to be written in the notebook to be true, but still, I myself wrote of the crime in my notebook. No further proof is necessary. Well, about that, someone else had the book in their possession for a good while before. Yeah, really. Someone that managed to go to the hospital and then go back, and in all that time have the notebook. Soren himself wrote in his notebook. Wait a minute. Very well. I will now give my verdict. Helen is about to be found not guilty, and Soren will be convicted for the crime instead. And yet, am I really ready for the judge to give his ruling? Yes! No. I wonder there's still one more avenue left to explore. This court find the defendant Ellen Wyatt. Your Honor, there is still something that bothers me about that notebook. Oh, is there? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? All you have to do is keep quiet, and your client is a free woman. I know, but I think there might be more to this case than meets the eye. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think there still might be a way. A way for Ellen and Soren to be happy. What do you mean by more than meets the eye, Mr. Wright? I believe the question here, Your Honor, should be, why was the incriminating page torn out in the first place? Why, to destroy the evidence, I would imagine. But removing it from the notebook is the same as removing it from Mrs. Sprocket's memory. Which means that he wouldn't have been able to trick the police if he came under suspicion. No, if he wanted to cover up his crime, he would have to remember that he had done it. Just what are you getting at with this line of inquiry, Mr. Wright? Yes, please. Please explain it so that we all can understand. Yes, Your Honor. The page was torn out of the notebook because he wanted to forget what happened. Somebody else tore it out. The incriminating page was torn out by somebody else. What? An order! Are you claiming a third person interfered with the notebook? It's not all that surprising if we consider what happened until now. After both the car accident and the murder of Thomas Gloomsbury, there was always a cover-up not far behind. But I had my notebook with me all the time. Did you? Because I remember you were in a panic yesterday because you couldn't find it. That's true, yes. Explain it so a MOBA can understand, because these motherfuckers are thicker than the porridge. They're thicker than Rice's thighs. I don't think I ever gonna goddamn forget that, to be honest. That's true. So, who orchestrated this particular cover-up, Mr. Wright? If we think back over the course of the trial, it's pretty easy to guess. The one who may have tried to tamper with Soren's memories is this dude. The one who tampered with the notebook in order to manipulate Mrs. Sprocket's memories is Pierce Nickley. Pierce tried to tamper with my memories. Pierce was manipulating me. Case in point. The two receptions that were held to cover up the murder. It was Mr. Nickley who directed the guest and orchestrated the entire scheme. No, it can't be. Which were memories of mine which have been rewritten? Where did he start rewriting my memories? Oh god, We literally made him like rethink his life. Oh, he is going to a loop. Oh. Under pressure. Oh. Oh, he is definitely soaring. Oh, he's stuck in the roof now. Rocket Man! Yes, exactly. Look, Nick, he's coming back down. At least he had a safe landing. But I think he's completely whack right now. My memories. Ellen. No, they have to share infirmary. Bring him out of here. Finally, please get Mrs. Sprocket to the infirmary on the double. Both of them are in there now. And not because of anything bad, just basically overstimulated brain. Mrs. Sprocket has been taken to the infirmary. We don't have to worry about him running away, so let us resume where we left off. I don't even think he tried to run away. For some reason, the steam somehow just exploded. Your Honor, the defense would like to call Pierce Nickody to the stand.
Objection.
We already know he carried out the cover-up to protect the company and Mrs. Sprocket. What more do you want from him? This time is different. The notebook, or rather Mrs. Sprocket's memories, have been tampered with. That means the only person who knows the whole truth is now Mr. Nickody. Miss Sprocket, come on, bro. My brain! First you make L into a mister, and now you make Sora into a miss. I don't know how the hell I fucking did that. Either it is a slip of the brain or a slip of the tongue. It's either one of those. In order to exonerate the defendant and her group. I'm not drumming up anything, nor do I have a grounds to accuse him of anything. Yet. All I know is that Mr. Nickody is the only one who knows the truth. And I think he's still hiding something. Something we don't know about yet. Yeah, sometimes me and my English is not best, especially in the evenings. It's like, just blah. No grounds yet, is it? I think it's a combo of both. Articulate it properly and you'll probably make less of a switcheroo. Yeah, it's probably that. It's just like my tongue just trying to like say it fast and just like say it wrong. It's like when I try to say game. I say it so quick, like it's just as I'm trying to say game, but it just goes to gay. Like the M is like skipped kinda. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution consent to calling the witness to the stand? It does, Your Honor. However, I would like a little time to talk with the witness before we do. Very well. We will break for 20-minute recess. Clonk. The hammer goes clonk. Just clonk. You know what? Basically, it is a good time here because my stream is about to end in 10 minutes.